This episode of the Worship Together podcast is presented by Planning Center. Planning Center Services is the all-in-one way to manage a church service. I'm your host, Jimmy Williams. This week, you're going to hear from our friend, former boss and mentor, Eddie DeGarmo. And I know I'd read, I didn't know this, but I was reading in the book that you actually were turned down from several labels before you finally found like the right home for the band. Got some nice, thank you, not interested.
Yeah, and then one of those from our patriarch, Billy Ray Hearn at Sparrow Records, which he's the guy that kind of founded EMI Christian Music Group. So, that's not an uncommon story. Not to compare myself to greatness, but the same thing happened to the Beatles,
Yeah.
The same thing happened to DC Talk. When I was one of the founders of a label called Forefront Records, and one of our first signings was DC Talk. And we were just an infant label. It's tiny. And people have asked me many times through the years, well, how did you get to sign TobyMac? How did you get to sign DC Talk? And the answer was pretty simple, because nobody else would.